Well, today we finally got some new information on the upcoming GTA Online DLC, but unfortunately it's not the information that a lot of people wanted to hear. So it looks like the next DLC is actually going to be coming out tomorrow. They're doing one of those surprise releases again, it seems, and this is coming from Yan, and if you don't know, Yan is pretty reputable when it comes to leaking. I think he knows someone at Rockstar, and they sort of give him some information right before the DLCs do go live. But he said, a little birdie told me that there's a new GTA Online update coming out tomorrow themed around racing and including about a dozen new cars. So that's actually quite a bit of information considering we had absolutely zero. And if this is the case, let's go ahead and talk about that. First off, yeah, it's not the DLC everyone was expecting, but I think we shouldn't have been expecting something major just because the last couple of years they haven't done anything major this time of year. They saved the major DLCs for summer, for fall, and then obviously for December. So while we all maybe wanted that Navy DLC or the I'm Not a Hipster 2 DLC, those still could be in the works, but they could be tweaking and making those even better for later on this year. Now a racing themed DLC, that's nothing new. I mean, if you go back, 2016 we had the cunning stunts, and that was kind of cool for the time. Then last year, 2017, we had the cunning stunts special vehicle circuit. So maybe now in 2018, we have the cunning stunts weaponized vehicle circuit because they have a bunch of new weaponized vehicles in the game, and I could totally see that happening. Although another possibility is that it's like a transform race circuit with the new vehicles. I think that probably is more likely just because you could have a race going from the Deluxo to the Jetpack, and then you go underwater with the Stromberg, and then you're back maybe with something else. Personally, I really don't want that. It's funny, I seen this little comparison here, but someone posted this picture, and their caption was, "What I see when I see or hear racing themed updates," and then this picture was posted with the caption, "What Rockstar sees with racing or with a racing theme update." Granted, both are cool, but we've gotten a lot of those crazy over-the-top races over the last couple years. I would really like them to go back to that Midnight Club style street racing. And I think that could work, especially with, like Yan said, a dozen new cars. There could be a dozen new Benny's vehicles. How amazing does that sound? Even though it's like a little small DLC to just hold us over, if it was a street racing DLC with all kinds of new Benny's vehicles, I wouldn't really care that it's not a huge DLC. I mean, ideally, if they could just make this racing themed DLC a mix of all of the styles of racing, that would, I guess, be the best scenario. You could have some street races, you could have some stunt races, you could have some new transform races with the new vehicles, but I do hope it's not just racing. There probably won't be any new missions, but if they added some cool outfits or some cool new garage spaces, maybe, hey, look, this is crazy. What if they added mansions in this? They're like, you know what? Look, this is a little holdover DLC, but look, we're giving you guys a ton of new Benny vehicles and a ton of, or not a ton, but a couple of mansions so you can store these new vehicles because we are sort of kind of running out of garage space. That would be the ideal situation, but look, we all know Rockstar, nothing ever makes sense for them. But we do have to remember that this is the time of year that Rockstar make use of the existing stuff or stuff they've worked on in the past. There's stuff that was cut from DLCs while they do continue working on making big DLCs for the end of the year. I mean, going back to the timeline, 2016, we had the Cunning Stunts, but we also had the Be My Valentine's update, which was somewhat of a repackaged or reskinned update of the initial Valentine's Day update. We had the two Benny vehicles in January in 2016, and those were vehicles that were already in the game. And then we also had the 6 lowriders, which were very bad, but they were takes or new takes on vehicles already in the game. So stuff that's already there that they're just reworking. And then last year we had the new stunt races, the special vehicle circuit, and that obviously used the import and export special vehicles. And then we also had some of the returning player bonus content like the Duke of Death, and those little mini DLCs held us off until the bigger ones came out at the end of the year. So I think that's somewhat happening again. If you guys actually remember, this is going kind of a few months back, but this guy Legit Leaks, who I still don't know if, we trust him or not, but he has leaked some things that have turned out to be true. He did say this on Twitter couple months ago. He said these are some of the vehicle names that we're working on, because he later explained that the way Rockstar does their DLCs is they make, you know, the main stuff, but then they have these, I guess, other development teams work on these side vehicles, and then whether or not they fit the theme of the DLC, they'll put them in or they'll hold them off until a later time. And that's probably what's happening with this upcoming DLC. These are going to be all the vehicles that they made over the last year, but they haven't released them because they didn't fit any of the themes of the DLCs. One final thing I will say about this whole thing is that you have to also remember this March DLC probably won't last us until the next DLC. Last year, just for instance, the March update, it drip fed 2 months, I believe, I think into May, and we didn't receive the gun running update until the middle of June. So they sort of left us in the silence for about a month and a half. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen with this DLC. If Yan said there's only gonna be a dozen or so cars, that's only perhaps 2 months of drip fed content if they do release 3 or 4 right at the beginning, like tomorrow, which would mean it ends maybe late April or early May, and then we have to wait until we get some new information in June or whatever the case may be this year. Although it would be nice if, in addition to them releasing the DLC tomorrow, they say, hey, look, this is what our plan is for the summer. This is what we're working on. I think that would actually hold us over, and it would be much better than keeping us in silence like they've done in the past. Even if it's just a little paragraph, like a little couple of lines that says, hey, look, this is the general theme of the next DLC. Working on it. Be patient. But anyway, that is it with the video. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. I know it's not maybe what we all wanted, but how do you feel about this supposed DLC, a racing themed DLC with a bunch of new cars? Like I said, if it's a street themed or some sort of mix or somewhat new content or unique racing content with some Benny vehicles, then that would be awesome. If not, I feel like a ton of people, myself included, will be disappointed. But you guys can let me know in the comment section what you think. Thank you all for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. I will be up all night, so if a DLC does pop up tomorrow, I will be live streaming it. And also, I'm doing a shark card giveaway over on my Twitter for $3.5 million. So if you guys want to win, then go enter that link in the description. But thank you all, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.